Hey guys, Anthony, 4B4 Diesel. I'm just going to give you the final solution for the P0400 EGR code that comes up for some people every now and then. I say some people. A lot of people are going, me, that's me. Anyway, it doesn't happen to too many people out of the amount of people that have got the vehicles, but it happens to people sometimes, and there's enough there that there's enough people chasing a solution. So we've got a few vehicles that we know of that are getting a P0400, anything from every now and then to regularly. Some of the experiences are, that it can be thousands of Ks in between, but sometimes it happens like every 20 Ks type thing, so all the time. Understandably, when it happens all the time, you get really sick of clearing it, even if you've got that auto fix 3210 from Trevor Ryan at Dirt Road 4x4 in Werribee. Even if you've got that and you can just clear it, you've still got to open that app, and you might have it open anyway because you've got your dashboard up looking at all those other parameters, but you just get sick of clearing it, right? I totally understand. So what we've been doing, we've been slowly doing some investigations and a lot of swap gnostics. Obviously a lot of vehicles we've checked to make sure everything's right, and usually, look, this is what I want to say first. Most importantly, usually there's something else wrong. So there's a vacuum line that's not on, or not on properly, or not on in the right spot. They're the probably top ones that come up, and I've mentioned it in other videos. I'll just quickly say, the pink and the yellow, they've got to be the right way round. The white and the green underneath, down the bottom on the manifold, the green goes at the bottom, the white is the next one up. Seized shaft in the EGR cooler, that doesn't even really cause the P0400, right? So one of the underlying ones that's very rare that could be an issue is the EGR cooler itself is blocked. Now I'm going to tell you the suspicions I've got and what we've done and why I believe that. Now, obviously, we don't have a lot of these, right? It's such a, when I say vehicles that actually come to the Prada hospital that we can actually see with this problem, we work on them all the time and we just don't see this problem. But then you get people on Facebook, because it opens up to thousands of people, many more people. You get the old one, yeah, I get that, and a lot of people don't even mention it, and they just work out their own solution, like getting the ECU retune, remap, or whatever, and getting rid of the EGR, shutting it off, and that's fine, or some EGR off module or whatever, and that's fine if you want to spend money on electronics. It's more crap that you've got to plug in and wires and possibly unreliable, and look, I don't know that it's going to cause any issues, but the plate, so in the picture there at the bottom right, you can see that's the gasket at the start of the EGR cooler, and you can see the plate with the 7mm hole. So as much as some people say, oh, but what's the point of putting a hole in it? It wouldn't work then, would it? Well, you have a look at those holes there at the bottom right hand picture. The big hole, that's standard, you know how much flow you're going to get, and the small hole, well, there's more pressure there, yes, so it may just go through at a faster velocity, but the quantity is still so much less, and we know that from the results. We know it works. We know it works for many years. Not that we need to prove that it works. We don't buy, sell, or install them, but it's a solution that thousands of tens of thousands, could even be 100,000 people or more have used to sort out that EGR problem of the whole intake. You can see the pictures, top left, second one down on the left, in the middle at the top, in the middle of the middle, whatever, you get the picture. That's the standard crap you get, and obviously this shouldn't be allowed to happen to an engine because it's not going to be running cleanly or efficiently. So it's rob Peter to pay Paul with an EGR system anyway, unless it's correctly balanced. And we believe the plate with a 7mm hole is a really good balance, and you can see the results of what happens with that directly above the picture with the plate and the gasket. That's just two examples of how the EGR valve, that's after quite a period of time, running a 7mm plate on some vehicles we've taken photos of, whether it's 20,000, 40,000, 80,000 Ks later or whatever, it's the same result. You've got no catch can, you've got a small amount of oil going through, it's actually beautiful, it keeps everything lightly lubricated, prevents corrosion, all that sort of thing, and oil has cleaners in it, right? But you haven't got a lot of oil going through there, obviously, because you're talking about the oil's coming from your sump, and there's still 7 litres there to drop out when you come to your service 10,000 Ks later. So you're talking about maybe 100mm or 2 or something over 10,000 Ks, and there's quite a quantity. You can imagine the amount of air that's been pumped through that engine in 10,000 kilometres. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So it's a tiny amount of oil, but it's enough just to keep it wet. Look, I'm not really sure why it even works so well. It's better than I would have expected. There's the little plate there on the bottom right, 7mm hole. So this is the issue, right? So people, they start working on their vehicles, they decide they're going to do their injectors, or they saw my E-jar clean video. We've got a full length, full detail E-jar clean video, and plenty of other videos like that in the VIP group, clients only. And I just want to say at this point in time, I've said it enough times in videos, but I'm going to say it again. We are currently fully booked, out of control busy, and then taking a break. So between all of that, we're fully back on deck from Tuesday the 26th of April, which is the day after Anzac Day, and we're going to get absolutely hammered. So send the text messages from 7:30 a.m. in the morning. You should get a response. If you don't, please remind me again later in the morning, whatever the case may be. However urgent you are, the more you remind me. If you're pretty relaxed, you just wait till the next day. The earlier in the week you contact me, the better. It's text message service only. The phone doesn't ring. I keep saying that as well. But anyway, that's the deal, right? So don't bother contacting me about anything. That's what our Facebook groups are there for. You can ask questions there. There's plenty of people that have got answers, and even the correct answers. Depends what group you ask in and who answers. Get to know these people. Get on these groups. Spend some time there and go, this guy knows his stuff. You can use a search function on those groups and on our YouTube channels to find out the information you need. Now, so we've done a number of things on the 1KDs trying to sort out these P0400s, right? And replacing the E-jar valve doesn't fix it. If you do that, you might have found you either got lucky or you wasted your money, because all the ones I've heard of people, other than one, I think even the one that didn't fix it either. It was I think the E-jar valve. I've never purchased one. That's how common it is, right? Never had a problem with one. If you buy the E-jar valve, maybe you get some other component on the side as well, and changing that component on the side supposedly fixed it, but it still comes down to vacuum lines, I think. Anyway, all that stuff's easy, right? Because it just works, and it's pretty obvious you can work out if the vacuum line's wrong. Now, all these people that have tried this and tried that and tried the other and unsuccessful, well, it's only about 300K so far, so it's only preliminary findings, but I wanted to let you know. I've already said in another video, at least one, I believe that the E-jar cooler itself, you know, the heat transfer unit, the E-jar cooler, so where the E-jar exhaust gases come out of the head, they go into the pipe, into the E-jar cooler inside, there's coolant there. It's like a radiator where the exhaust gases go through, it's like a radiator, like little fins, let's say about 2 millimeters thick, like radiator core, right? And around that is, on the outside is coolant, which is meant to cool it down, you know, because you've got 300-400 degree exhaust gases going through there. So hopefully somehow the 86 degree coolant's meant to cool it down. I know, stop laughing, I know, we've been there, done that before. If you like this info, check out our E-jar information playlist, because there's so much more of it. But so your 300 or 400 degree exhaust gases are going to go past 86 degree coolant and cool down to, I don't know, 250 degrees. Anyway, that's what's meant to be happening in there, and then it goes off into your intake where you've got your nice clean filtered air that came through your air filter box and your intercooler, just nice and cool, because we know cool works, and we're packing it with some dirty, unfiltered, hot exhaust gases. Just beautiful, isn't it? I know. In case you didn't know that, I hope you like my channel. Subscribe, turn the bell on, because this is where we teach you the real stuff, the real information. Anyway, what we believe is happening in that E-jar cooler, when you back off, when you're driving, boost, right, and then you back off, the boost pressure can go backwards through the E-jar cooler. So it's got two purposes. When it does that, there's a possibility that that small amount of oil, some of it goes backwards, and usually sometimes just at the back end of the E-jar cooler where it comes up to the E-jar valve, that can get a little bit blocked up, right? Now, not much, but if you've got that and a plate, it could be a problem. That could be enough to cause it to throw the P0400. Now, you might clean all that up, so that's all good, but you can't see what's going on down in that core of that E-jar cooler. So if it was to push backwards a little bit more than that, and push a little bit, because you need oil. Oil's the glue, remember? So back at the start of the E-jar cooler where that plate is, it's bone dry. It's coming from the exhaust. I've seen heaps of these plates after they've been removed. They're painted black like they've been spray painted or powder coated, whatever, you know, matte black finish. There's no build up. It's never going to block up. That little hole, it's never going to block up, so you don't need to worry about that. Of course, unless you had an issue with your engine or turbo where it was putting oil in the intake, and then of course you're going to get oil in your E-jar cooler, right? So this is what it's all about. If there's any reason why you've had oil in your E-jar cooler, or you've tried to spray something down there to clean it that's oily, or you could be just unlucky and there's a bit of oil pressure going backwards, you know, maybe older engines, more blow by less, more or less, or this, that, or the other, who knows? Somehow a little bit of oil gets into your E-jar cooler. The E-jar cooler will slightly become get blocked up, right? Now, it might not be fully blocked. It might be just a little bit. It could be a lot. It could get totally blocked. But what I'm saying is I believe some of them are partially blocked. So when you put the plate in with a 7mm hole, the combination of the two causes problems. Now, so that means depending how blocked it is, what size hole you need to still allow the EGR to flow. So what we did on one vehicle is we went, okay, well, this is what we think's happening. We've checked everything else. We've swapped Gnostic just about everything, other than a couple of things, right? But it's sort of guess Gnostics as well, because we haven't got all the information that tells us what makes this code, what exactly. Well, we have got the information, but it's wrong. So the book that it says when it does this, and this, that's when the code's going to. But we're getting the code on vehicles where those parameters aren't met. So the information we've been given by the manufacturer isn't actually correct. So I don't know how that works out, but. So we suspect the EGR cooler is partially blocked, all right? Now, some people have taken plates out and it's still got the P0400. So obviously that's where you've got some other issue. It's a vacuum line or something all along, or the thing's totally blocked, or something's wrong completely, big time, if you've taken it out. And this is my whole point. It's not the plate that's causing the problem, but the plate can contribute if your EGR cooler is partially blocked or blocked. So what we did on this one vehicle, we'll get to it, but you need all the background information, and you need all the information. If I don't give you all the information, then you're going to be asking questions, right? When we haven't got time to answer all the questions. So we took the plate out, and we drilled it out to 8mm, and then he put it back in, and I think it was a little bit better, like marginally, it might have been marginally better, but not sure, not long enough to know. So then a couple of weeks later, or whatever it was, we took the plate out again. We drilled it out to 10mm, okay, 10mm. And we went, wow, that's a big hole, right? So you look at that bottom right picture, 7 out to 10, it doesn't sound like much, but, it's getting bigger. But look, it's still good. But it doesn't matter that the hole's bigger because your restrictions in your EGR cooler. So it's a balance of the two, right? So where you want to be is right on the edge of not getting a P0400, so the ECU is happy, your EGR system's working, it's actually doing a little bit to help reduce nitrogen oxide, but it's more of a balance effect. So I actually like it like that. So if you've got that. So anyway, this particular vehicle, 10mm hole, so far, the usual sort of driving around and over 300 kilometers somewhere there, stop. It's usually when you come, have everyone noticed? It's usually when you're slowing down, you're coming to a stop, you're coming off a freeway, you're coming to a set of lights, you're on the gas and you're off the gas, and then that's when it usually happens, right? Guess what? All that's happened and there's been no P0400. So right about now, everyone's stopped watching the video and they're going out to get their 10mm and undo their common rail plug and their upside down ratchet spanner and get the intercooler off. And so that's cool, you can do that, right? But what I would suggest is, depending how much you like working on your vehicle, if you like working on your vehicle, maybe what you should do is drill out the hole 1mm at a time and then put it in the comments what you did and what worked for you, so then everybody else can come and have a look at this video and say this, and then they can go, rightio. And then if you don't like working on your vehicle, you don't know how to do it, and you got to pay someone, you might want to go straight for 9mm, 10mm. We don't know how blocked your EGR cooler is. The other way to fix it is, the proper way to fix it is to take the EGR cooler off and clean it out, right? But the problem we got is you're taking your fuel pipes off to do that. Fuel pipes off equals contamination, high risk of contamination. It's not worth the risk of contamination. That's why I recommend against that. Putting the plate in and out, not a problem. That's up to you if you choose to put the plate in there, what size hole and all the legalities and all that stuff. That's up to you. I'm just letting you know what works and what the solutions are if you've got a partially blocked EGR cooler. The last most important thing probably is don't forget that bolt. That important bolt on the bottom of the EGR cooler. So you've got your two nuts that hold it to the head, you've got the two bolts that hold up to the EGR valve, and you've got a 12mm bolt, which is an M8 that goes into the exhaust manifold, and that is the mounting bolt of the EGR cooler. If you forget to put that in or forget to do it up, you're going to be in a world of hurt, and you're going to go, I wish I never did this, and I shouldn't have brought a Prado or a Hilux, and should have listened to that Anthony. So here I am trying to remind you yet again, listen to the end, because that was the important warning, right? Listen to the end and watch all the videos and listen to the end. As painful as it can be sometimes, it's how you're going to get yourself educated. Look at the comments. Heaps of people love it. If you haven't subscribed yet, crazy stuff. I just don't believe it. So finally, before we go, Just reminding you, please don't bother me. We're taking a break. We're busy and taking a break. We'll be back 26th of April, ready to get smashed again, and there'll be another break after that. So that is the time. May is your time to hammer me to get your vehicle into the Prada Hospital and get whatever you need, whatever parts, repairs, whatever you need. May is the month. May is the work month. I'm telling you now, right? I'm letting you know in advance. Hammer me. Generally, we only work school hours. We prefer to be contacted in the morning, so the earlier in the day, the better, and the earlier in the week, the better. Monday is parts day. Monday's the day to make contact, so from 7:30 a.m. So, you know, if you contact me on a Friday, yeah, not good. Thursday, not so good either. Wednesday, you're pushing it. Tuesday, well, if we didn't get it done Monday, Tuesday's suspension day. So Tuesday morning from 8:30 a.m. is the time to message me about suspension. But of course, we've got to get the work on the vehicles done as well. Bada bing, we've just shared a heap of information. I hope you liked it. I'll let you know where it's at. There could be another video letting you know, oh no, we got a P0400, but then what we might do is monitor how often it happens and how many Ks apart. So it might be a while before you hear anything. But if you hear, if for example, it turns out that it keeps getting the P0400 again and again, I'll say, look, forget about that. But at the moment, I'm quite confident that the EJAR cooler was partially blocked. That's what I sort of come up with over the last few months thinking about it. And after some rectification we had done, and now with this 10mm hole there, I believe that it's working well, and I still think it's going to stay clean. So there'll be a video to let you know to confirm further, and there'll be a video to let you know if that EJAR valve stays really clean. Like, you know, we want this one up here. This is beautiful up here, so that's how we want it. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Bada bing, you know the deal. Catch ya on the next one. See ya. Bye. What are you waiting for? I'm going. You there still? What are we doing? Gotta go. See ya. Bye.